Welcome, and thank you for joining me again. We made it. Tony, thank you. Trevor Bruce TV, good to see you in the house. They say the hardest part about this is getting to the gym or where you gotta go. But we made it. So thank you everybody, especially for coming in, because you make it easier to keep up with this, not to mention to be motivated to step it up day by day as well. So we'll be on for an hour, and then the Stock Explorer has a stream coming up right after. So we'll go and raid into theirs, and I'll drop the link for that when we get closer to the time. Jaden, my dear longtime friend, it's good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Gabrielle Smarandosh, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And Scratch and PPA, my dear friend, good morning to you. Thank you for coming in. So I just barely started. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try something because I haven't been able to get this thing to work. I've got an Apple Watch. It's a 3, not an 8 or anything like that. But it does do the workout stuff, like the fitness stuff. So I'm just going to see if I can get the phone to do it by itself. Hey Siri, start an indoor walk. It doesn't want to work. For some reason it doesn't work that easily. I got to go into the watch to get it done. And then thank you, yes, Gabrielle. Sorry, Gabriella. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this thing. I keep forgetting to do it every day. It really doesn't matter. I'm not keeping track of that. I'm more worried about steps. I have to admit I'm a little bit disappointed that the steps are a lot lower than I thought they might be. But I haven't been pushing the treadmill. We've barely been doing over 2 kilometers an hour up until now. Doctor says I gotta walk, so we're walking. But we're trying to keep it up at least 6 days a week. I may not be able to be here Fridays. I will, on Friday, look at a way to see if I can get that done, but I'm sure we'll survive either way. Yesterday I did 2.4 kilometers an hour. The fans don't seem to be doing as well as they were doing yesterday, so this might not be done with as much finesse as yesterday. Pardon me for a quick second. Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm ruining the chat again. The word up story. I don't know which story you're talking about, Jaden. I don't remember what you mean by that. Cooking with Miss Brown, good to see you here. Pardon me, I didn't bring a towel today. So worried about being late, I rushed. And then, you know what happens when you rush. I talk about it all the time. That's how mistakes are made. Nate Vlog, good to see you in the house again. I don't know where in the world Nate Vlog is right now. He was recently traveling. He might still be in Asia, bouncing from country to country. And Clay Mir, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Happy New Year to everybody. The word up story from the TV show. I'm not sure if I know what you mean, Jaden, but when I use the greeting word up, that's from a 1980s song. Early 80s, I forget what year. It might have been 83, 84, something like that. From a guy called Cameo. But since I was a DJ for most of my adult life, that was one of my favorite songs growing up, long before I ever became a DJ. But I think it's pretty funny and comical as a greeting, so most of you know I've been using that for the last forever. Just something unique. Joel in the kitchen, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. What's up? That's a little bit different. That was the best. I think it was in the very first episode of The Office. And he goes, what's up? The guy goes, yeah, I like that still after 7 years. I got a friend who named his company when we used to promote parties in nightclubs. He called his company What's Up Productions just because he liked it so much. Yeah, Tiesto for sure, Nate Vlog. When I was DJing, I've been doing a little bit of it recently. I don't know if I'm going to continue, but when I was doing it a while back, I wouldn't get a chance to play a lot of Tiesto because I play more top 40 pop stuff, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Britney Spears, and all that, right? And anybody can feel free to drop their link if you would like. Jaden's got the hang of it already. If you just type that word link with the exclamation mark. Now, you know, on the Tuber Chat channel, I talk much more about searching, finding, and clicking on each other because it really helps the channel you're looking for by helping them rise up the search results over a long period of time. But you can drop your link here if you'd like to. The Stock Explorer, good to see you in the house. And like I said, the Stock Explorer, we're going to go and raid after. So the Stock Explorer, I sent you a message, it's too late. But for anybody that wants to accept raids from other channels on YouTube, we call them live redirects. Raid is a term that comes from Twitch. But if you want to accept raids, you have to edit some settings for your channel. You have to go into your community settings. It's the same place where you add or delete moderators and approved users and banned words and stuff like that. And you'll see it's pretty self-explanatory there. And you can either specifically decide which channels you want to accept raids from, or you can accept raids from anybody you're subscribed to. So the reason why they put those settings in is because there's a thing on Twitch called hate raids. And I don't know if that started on YouTube yet or not, where, you know, if somebody really wanted to hammer you, somebody who was completely full of hatred and everything, they could send an army over to give thumbs down and report and all that nonsense. Yeah, it's possible the Stock Explorer, you might have already accepted Tuber Chat, but since this is another channel, it might have to be added separately. Or you can just accept raids from all subscribed channels. And then when we look at those couple of accounts that are here in the chat, Nightbot and Streamlabs, those are robots. Actually, I got to do something. I'm going to show you something. I put this command in yesterday. So all 4 robots, Nightbot, Botissimo, Streamlabs, and StreamElements, I put that command in, bot check, so that they'll all pop up and let me know who's here. Because StreamElements hasn't been working and I have no idea why. Actually, I don't know if I finished what I was supposed to do with Botissimo either. But Botissimo is there, so that's great. John H. Shelton, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. He's in from the UK. And these robots can take a little bit of pressure off of your moderators by doing some of the repetitive tasks for you, like, you know, telling people, follow me on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. It also can help prevent spam. They've all got settings for that. And you can do this Nightbot thing that I just added, which is to drop the link. It's a popular command that's out there. but some of those are robots, so they won't respond exactly. Bot check won't work for anybody else, Jaden. That's only really for moderators or myself if I wanted to see if something's working. So I don't know why Stream Elements is not coming in. That thing's driving me bananas. The worst part is it's the best one. Stream Elements has a way of doing the timers, which says, you know, like these messages you post in the chat. Follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and all that. But the messages don't run into each other. So you can make a list of, I think, 10. You can make many lists, but you can make a list of like 10 and then say drop a message every 3 minutes, but not the same one over and over. Oh, weather I don't have on here anymore, Tony, either. I can't get that thing to work either. Everything I try. When you add these things in, Nightbot has this way of being able to tell you either the local weather from where the host is, or you can actually design it so that people will get the local weather wherever they are. But I've tried it every which way, and I think it's really designed to work in the most popular cities like New York, Chicago, Boston, Miami, and things like that. So it works for Toronto differently than it works for Niagara Falls. But I can look into playing around with that again. Actually, all that fluff and stuff is a channel that we know from Australia, and she was playing around with it yesterday, Nightbot, trying to get some settings working and this and that. So, well, you know I say this almost every day. Eventually, I plan to do tutorials to tell everybody how to clearly get these things done without frustration in very clear and concise how-to tutorials. But we're close. My table should be arriving today for my new unboxing and review area where I work. And then Gabriella, if you use an exclamation mark and the word link, that's the only thing that's going to work for everybody right now. I keep my robots really, really tight. So when I first hook them up, I take all the commands off. And that is what I would suggest for everyone. And then Gabriella, you'll see what happened there. So I put the word link with an exclamation mark, and then Nightbot drops the link for the channel. John H. Shelton's got it going as well. Jaden did it earlier. I think I have it set that you can only do it once every 5 minutes. So if you do it within 5 minutes, it might not work. That's just to keep people from spamming, right? So on my other channel, I try to avoid a lot of link drops and things like that, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world here, so it'll be all right. I hope everybody's got their notifications on for YouTube as well. You get to those settings really from your channel. So if you're logged in, you go to your own channel's front page. In the top right where your logo is, you click. Down there, there'll be settings. And you should go through those settings and just make sure they're set the way you want, because YouTube will send emails for very important things. And there's something happening right now. I can't read it. Kristen just sent me something for an email she got today. And I don't think I've got it yet. I'm quite certain not. Unless it's come on the Tuber Chat channel. Looks like not yet. So something's coming though. And in your YouTube dashboard, if you can get to a computer occasionally, as often as possible, I'd have a look at that. I don't know what's going on. I'm starving today. I don't eat before I come here, but when I'm done, I'll just have an apple while I think about what I'm going to do after. Thank you to Stock Explorer for sharing. So I waited about 10 minutes. I got on the treadmill and I had it at about 2.1 or 2.2 kilometers an hour, and after a few more minutes I jumped it up step by step to 2.5 now. I hope my battery is charging. Oh, for the life of me, I can't tell. My screen's already dark. See, the fans aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and I'm afraid my phone's going to overheat. What is this now? Oh, the advertisement. I should know what that is. That's from Bottissimo. So they have this sponsor thing. And apparently, you can make, let's say, $3 for every 1,000 views or impressions of these advertisements, and you can decide how often they show up. So I don't have them on the Tuber Chat channel because over there I don't want things interfering with the screen, but here it's not going to bother anybody. I always want to try a lot of these things so that when we talk about them, I can come from some small point of experience as a minimum. But that's Bottissimo with a sponsor message, so would have dropped that through the chat as well. But thanks again, everybody, for hanging out, because like I said, it keeps me motivated. It makes it easier to show up and hopefully step it up as well. I just can't imagine for the life of me why Stream Elements does not want to work. I've been over this again and again and again. One of the things that happens with these robots, they're like any other software in the background, right? These companies update them, they upgrade them, they add features and stuff like that. So my imagination tells me once in a while they do an update and then the bot disconnects from your chat. So I would recommend for everybody that uses any of the robots once a month to go and just double check that it's still connected, because you might find yourself pretty disappointed if they're not, especially when you're making promises, things like that, for memberships or however else. See what I mean? There's Streamlabs coming in. If I can get Stream Elements to work, I'll take some of those off so that they drop a little less frequently. It's pretty interesting the different ways that these robots can help you too, because they can prevent spam. So if somebody just keeps repeating the same message over and over, or if people want to hammer too many emojis and stuff like that in your chat. Home bartending with John, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully everybody's New Year's off to a good start. I keep looking over to the ceiling, hoping that one of the other fans is going to go on. You can see the one behind me there in the top corner. Yeah, there's another one over there. It's not on, and I'm staring at it already. It's not as much for me as it is for the phone not to overheat. I hope. We've been through that a couple of times already. But all in all, we made it again. Thank you for the share, John H. Shelton. Yeah, Gabriella, the robots will help on any channel. So especially if you're going to do premieres and live streams, The only thing is some of them take a few minutes to get in too. So if you do a premiere, your video might be over by the time they do anything. But I still put them on anyway, and I find them very helpful. Yeah, we'll spare production. So I had a problem first of all with the, so I have an iPhone 12 mini, and I think it was right after I got it, either last summer or the summer before, whenever it was, I was out doing an outdoor live stream at a theme park, and right away it overheated within like 10 minutes. That stream is still there. And I did one in the winter, and that stream, the phone froze, and we lost the stream after about 10 minutes. 8 minutes or something like that. So it's a consideration, but one of the things that helps is to take the phone out of the case. Now here, when it overheated the first time, in the place where I am right now, it overheated because I had the case on it. So that somewhat makes sense, and I think I was using Prism. Prism, I don't know why, uses more battery than Streamlabs, which I'm using now. I like Streamlabs better, but Prism is cool, very easy to use. I didn't like losing a stream. Those of you who've been with me that long. Oh, thank you, Gabriella. Yeah. There's quite a few live streams now, and I live close to Niagara Falls in Ontario, Canada, so I do a lot of streaming there when I can. If the weather's going to stay not too terrible, I hope to get outdoors instead of on the treadmill once in a while before the spring, but we'll have to wait and see. Today there's rain again where I am. I'm closer to Toronto now on the east end, but there's rain over here, so you know that stuff gets on the camera and this and that. But again, we're just here to walk. So again, thank you everybody for hanging out. Like I said, it's keeping me motivated. I don't imagine there's a way I can sort out the stream elements thing on the phone. Maybe I'll try. All these things are starting to have these sponsor things as well. So you got to be careful when you think about that with these companies. I wouldn't want anybody to be disappointed. So we got to be very clear about their terms or their guidelines and things like that, so that you don't end up allowing them to run all kinds of ads and stuff in your streams and then not get paid. That's not fun for anybody. See if I can get into this thing on a phone. I don't imagine it's going to be as easy to use as a computer, but boy, am I just, if I don't get it fixed, you're going to have to listen to me whine and complain every day about this thing. And we don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to do part channel, and I'm going to try to join the channel. It's going to work or not? So I just reset Stream Elements again. It says it might take a few minutes to start working. We'll see. And like I keep saying, hopefully everybody has got a good start to their year. And yes, Stream Elements just showed up, Low Spare Productions. Maybe that was it. I don't know why this time and not other times. Because I've been at this for a week now, right? We're on day 7 or 8 or whatever it is. And we're just walking an hour a day. So that's it. We're just here to walk, not push. 2 weeks from now, we should be up to 3.5 kilometers on the treadmill, and that'll be a little more productive than now, but it's not a race. It's meant to be done permanently. I can feel myself eating just the tiniest bit better, and not really, but just less junk. Less terrible stuff every day. There's a little bit of guilt that comes with it because, you know, it's a shame to go and burn a bunch of calories and then just go eat a bunch of garbage and put it, you know, cancel it out. There we go. There's our sponsor messages from Bautissimo again. I'm surprised it seems to want to blank the screen out. I can't tell if it's actually working or not. Are you guys seeing an advertisement in the stream? When I'm monitoring it on my other phone and reading the chat, I see just a blue box. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, Will Spare Productions. There was a brief moment that I was thinking I might go drive a truck. And it was after I was finished with the nightclubs, right before I was working in film, I think. And I considered it. A friend of mine was driving, and I actually went and did the written test. I was just about to start school, and I changed my mind. My friend ended up crashing, and he didn't want to do it anymore, so kind of right in time. We were going to drive team, and the idea would be that, you know, if you're driving team, you got a few hours a day that you're both, you know, one person's driving, one person's not, so we could be in the back either producing music or radio shows or whatever. Yeah, blue square comes up, no ad. Thank you, Tony. It's really weird. We'll see what happens as that continues. Coastal Water, good to see you here. Michael's Adventures, my dear friend, thank you for coming in. Coastal Water was actually live earlier. I don't always catch her, so it must be because it's too early, or too early in the day. But now I'm going to be indoors on the computer most of the time. So if I'm not filming or out running an errand of some sort for the next few months, I should be on virtually 16 hours a day. Yeah, so home bartending with John. Yeah, that's okay. I'm happy to talk about this stuff. I love this stuff. So Bautissimo, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, and Nightbot are all different companies. And they all have chat bots. That's what they're called. I say robots, but they're really called chat bots. So what they do is they can help control some of your chat, and they have a lot of settings available, which is really cool. You can actually have games that come up in the chat, like tic-tac-toe, and you can get these things to start controlling music and things like that. Most commonly in the Tuber Chat family, we use them for what we call timers, which drop these messages occasionally, right? So don't forget to give a thumbs up and follow us on Twitter and, you know, that kind of stuff, because it's annoying for the moderators to have to do that constantly, you know, and you could take some pressure off them. Moderators are there to help you, and I would like to think that most of them are just doing it, you know, because they like the channel or like the host and want to be, you know, helpful or a part of it. And in the idea of appreciating the efforts that moderators are putting forth, we'd like to make the job, if you want to call it that, as fun or as easy as possible so that they can enjoy the stream too. You notice that the moderators, you know, I have only a few moderators on Tuber Chat, and most of the moderators here are the same. But they all help when it comes to, you know, remember to thumbs up, remember to share, and things like that. But they're also able to spend time, hopefully, growing their channels, meeting friends, and not just moderating all the time. YouTube gives us a few tools so that we can stop things like trolling and spam and stuff like that. And the robots can help with that as well. So timers are one thing that are popular, and you just saw a message from Stream Elements there, right? And it's really talking about TubeBuddy. So that's something that, you know, I don't want to have to, you know, ask Scratch and Pete or Michael's Adventures or Stock Explorer or anybody else to say like, oh, can you go get the link for TubeBuddy? It's not necessary, because the robot can do it every half hour or whenever you want to. Then as well, you can add these commands in. And this is where the games and the fun come in. Nightbot has a way to kind of broadcast the weather if you wanted it to. But for anybody here in the chat right now, if you want to type in the word link, you'll see what happens. Your link will be dropped in the chat. You know, I don't do that on Tuber Chat, but here it's not as important, so it's okay. And then I've got one that can only be used by moderators, which is, I just put in, called Bot Check. And this is going to make each of the robots drop a message to say that they're here, that they're working, as you can see. So then as the host, you know, spams the chat for 1 second, but just to know that these things are working and none of them are missing, it helps, right? Because when you get into things like memberships, when you're monetized, you might make promises to people, and you want to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to. The other thing too, Wolfspear Productions, I have Nightbot set, I think on 5 minutes, but it could be longer, so that you can only drop your link once every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that. Shouldn't be longer than 15. I thought I had it set to 5 minutes. But that's just to stop anybody from accidentally spamming or things like that. Yeah, hopefully it will work. Wolfspear Productions at some point. Now, I know I've said this a million times, but I don't think that dropping links in a chat helps as much as it seems everybody thinks it does. But I've been told I'm wrong about that many times. So I've been told that dropping the link actually does help. Still not going to do it on Tuber Chat, and you all know why. It's better to search, find, and click on each other. But again, here, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the other thing too is that Gabriella and Wolfspear Productions, a lot of these robots don't work perfectly all of the time. And I can only shake my head and wonder why. Why can't the things just work? It's 2023, they've been at this for years. But for whatever reason, it's not perfect, right? Coastal Water, yes. Bots roll call. I might change my command just for that. That's funny. Yeah, I just like these things. They're very helpful when they work. But there's an example, right? There goes Streamlabs. Now that Stream Elements is working, I'll cut that thing down, so it won't do it all the time. Stream Elements is my favorite one for timers. Nightbot is the most popular one, so I just end up using that for that reason. Streamlabs, at least on Tuber Chat, I pay for. I don't think I pay for it here now. I forget. I might. Because it's my favorite app to use. The chatbot is just included with it, but you can use it for free. Slow down just for a quick second here. Thought I was hungry, but Mona did what? Good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Exactly, home bartending with John. So you'll notice on the Tuber Chat channel, so we have memberships over there, and I've got 3 levels right now: bronze, silver, and gold. So as a bronze member, it really just means that your link is, or your name is going to come up in green. You get access to the extra emojis, and then I usually do little bit of bonuses that I don't talk about, because you always want to give more than you mention, in my opinion. And then silver members have the same, but they get their channel shown in those slides at the beginning, middle, and end of every live stream that most of you have seen. It's just a slideshow that shows screenshots of everybody's channel. But that's part of Streamlabs. I use that on the computer as well. Streamlabs on the computer is different from the phone, only in the fact that there's different features available and it works a little bit differently, but it's the same company, same concept. And then gold members on Tuber Chat get their link dropped automatically, like Wolfsbear Productions. So for those of you who've been in Tuber Chat many times before, you will have seen Wolfsbear Productions with a message from Nightbot and a link drop every 30 minutes or so. The advertisement should have come up, and I don't know why it's just this box. That's silliness. That doesn't bother me. I don't care so much about the sponsor and all that. It's a minimal amount of money that could possibly come in from that. So I just want to see how it works, because live streams in general, at least here on my channel, don't get like a ton of traffic. We're not going to get 1,000 views on each of these live streams, at least not right now. So won't even be the better part of $3, let's just say. And you know, we all, in most cases, every penny counts, every dollar counts, but that's not the case here. So I more want to see how these things work. See, I put a note on my phone to remind myself, do the bot check, just in case I forgot. So Bottissimo's got that thing, and it's a paid service. I do pay for it, but I think they made it so that you don't have to pay. You can get all of the features of Pro, I think, and forgive me if I'm wrong, if you sign up for that sponsorship thing and just let these ads roll through your streams and stuff. So it helps me, if you're thinking about trying these things out, to use the affiliate links, of course, just in case someday in the future you decide to pay for them. We all know pretty much how those things work, I think. I can explain it if anybody wants me to talk about affiliate programs. Corinne's Life, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Another fellow Canadian in the house. Oh, really? Corinne's Life. Yeah, something's been happening over this few weeks now where people are not feeling well for what seems to be a long period of time. Some of what I've heard seems to be dragging on for a couple of weeks. I've been lucky so far. So again, hopefully everybody's year's off to a good start. And in another 20 minutes, we'll go and raid the Stock Explorer. I'll get the link for that shortly. We didn't get it set up perfectly with the redirect yet today, so we'll have to use the link to get over there. But the Stock Explorer lets everybody connect in the same way that we do here, for those of you that want to do it. And actually, I have an interview now lined up with the Stock Explorer for about a week and a half from now. This coming Sunday, I'll be on Have Cheetah Will Views channel for the second time. We'll talk YouTube. And then the following Saturday, I'll be with the Stock Explorer on their channel. And I haven't been able to do a lot of these interviews for a very long time. I did one with Crocheting with Leanne a few months ago, but I've been looking forward to being able to do it because it gives us a chance to talk more YouTube or whatever everybody wants to talk about than I can on the Tuber Chat channel. So here, I mean, we could talk about whatever everybody wants every day, whatever comes up. But when I do those, we call them interviews, but it's really just a conversation. Usually gets into a lot of YouTube. We either draw from experience or things we've learned, and we can get into much deeper conversation about that stuff. So if there's any luck in the next few months, I'll do a handful of them. But I've just got the 2 lined up for now. Hopefully you'll get that sorted out soon, Corinne's Life. Yeah, that's possible, Tony. So one of the things is, you know, videos are hard to add to after they're up, right? The only thing you could do is if you made a mistake, and let's say you said to somebody you were doing 2.5 kilometers on a treadmill, but you were actually doing 2.5 miles, you could put a thing up on the screen now that says, you know, that overwrites the mistake that you spoke, if that makes any sense. So it's just a little tiny thing they added. You can cut a video, so you can take parts out, but you can't add once it's up. But when you talk about embedding in videos, I wonder if what you mean is the idea of those things that fly over the screen. I don't have any here that I can show, but like in all my videos, you'll see those things that pop up that say follow on Twitter and like this video, give us a thumbs up and things like that. That might be what you mean. Those particular things are called lower thirds, but there's lots of different things you can put in your videos. If you see Hilda DC, who's one of my dear friends and a moderator on Tuber Chat, she puts a lot of special effects into her videos. And I don't mean like explosions and lightning and things like that. What I'm talking about are little things that flash on the screen that just say, you know, you can do it, and you're not alone, and motivating and encouraging things like that. But we can all go back over any video that we've put up, whether it's a short video live stream, and edit the title, the thumbnail, the description, the tags as often as you want. You could do it 1,000,000 times a day if you want. And by going back over some of your older videos, you might be able to breathe some life into the ones that are not moving, although I wouldn't recommend spending a lot of time on that. A better idea is to take the videos that are really moving and try to improve those, because it's a lot easier to take something that's going 60 miles an hour and make it go 70 miles an hour than to try to take something from 0 and get it moving, if that makes any sense. But you can. I'm not sure if I answered your question, Tony, at all, unless there was something else that you were thinking about. It certainly does, Wolf Spirit Productions. One of the things that everybody will find, depending on your different types of videos, is that, especially on variety channels, you could make a video today that doesn't go very far or far as you would like, but all of a sudden next summer takes off. So I have some tech reviews of stuff that I've done that have really picked up over the last long while. And you can read the analytics to give you a little bit of a story, an idea as to why that is. But again, I would go, depending on how much time you have, I would go over your top 10, top 20 videos and try to push them harder instead of trying to get ones that are not getting the views you wish, because we're always surprised. Almost in every case, you know, we all want to make videos that are going to get millions of views, but that's hard. What's easier as an idea is to make 100 videos and know that some of those will get thousands of views. And by the time you have 100, you might be at a point where some of your videos are getting tens of thousands of views or even hundreds of thousands. We're watching one now that I produced a few years ago on one of Jeff's channels that has over 800,000 now. And it will probably be the first one that we have that hits 1 million. On this channel that we're watching right now, my best performing video has 83,000. But that will probably be, if it can keep going, it's aging now, but if it can keep going, there's a possibility it could hit 100. It might be the first one. Pardon me. I forgot to bring a towel today. Michael's Adventures will shake his head when I say this, but I've got a note on my phone that I never take off. It's a reminder. Every day it reminds me to assemble my gym bag, which means put the stuff that you need in it and stop talking about it every day. And like every other thing, I haven't done it yet. So the towel's not here. Yeah, it really helps, Tony. 100% for sure. You will see some kind of an improvement in something. Your instinct will tell you what is the best idea, but YouTube gives us a lot of information in the analytics too, and every individual video has its own analytics as well. You can go in there and YouTube will tell you what search terms people are using to find your stuff. What you can do then is take those search terms, maybe put them in your title if you change your title, certainly put them in your description, and then replace some of the tags that you think are not doing anything or might be irrelevant, because you can always take inspiration from the things that you see. So if somebody was making a video about cars, they might also put the word vehicle into a lot of their tags or description and things like that. You know, if it's in the case of a truck, that might be an idea. In the case of the UK, you might, forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but you might use the word lorry and the word truck. Or in the case of an elevator, you might use the word lift and the word elevator, if you had some video that was focused on that. Not that, you know, I'm sure you know what I mean. Oh, that makes sense, Michael's Adventures. I almost feel like I used to do that. I almost feel like I used to put my wallet and my keys in my hat when I used to wear a hat, if at all. Now I tend to put things in the same 1, 2, or 3 places when I get home, so that I know where the stuff is. And if I can't be sure, I know it's in 1, 2, or 3, or 4 different places. So I'll find it at some point. Pardon me, I gotta see what this is. Hello? Hi. Yes. You're at the house now? Okay, I'm gonna try to get a hold of somebody. I'm just down the street. If you have to, are you able to just leave that by the front door somehow? Oh, a signature, I see. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to come outside, okay? Thank you. Oh, that's the table. Pardon me, I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't, but I certainly don't want them to take that back, because it was $100 just to get them to deliver it. It's 150 pounds, so driving 3 cities over to go and get the thing would have been almost as much in gas. So there's, you know, you're kind of stuck. I got to see if I can get a hold of the thing. I'm sure he's not going to answer. You know? Getting it sent to Jeff's place. Some of you know I run channels for Jeff. He's not going to answer. Oh dear goodness. The struggle is real. He was up late. He'll be sleeping. I might have to dash quickly. If I am going to ask for a favor now, if any of the moderators, Stock Explorer or Scratch and PPA, can drop the link for Stock Explorer's video. I'm almost done. I'm only going to cut this by like 9 minutes, but if I can ask you to do that, I'll appreciate it. All right, that's it. I'll have to make that up tomorrow. Let me try calling this guy back and seeing if he'll leave it without a signature or if he can wait for me. Actually, hunt this up while we're waiting. This guy's not answering now, the delivery guy. So the Stock Explorer just dropped a link in the chat if everybody wants to hop over there. That is where we're going to go and raid. I'm going to try to get in here and pin that. For the life of me, I can't get anything to do what I want today. So I just pinned that link if everybody wants to hop over there. And forgive me, so tomorrow you can hold me to it, but I got to stay an extra 10 minutes. So we're doing an hour and 10 minutes tomorrow. Thank you, Shizer. Yeah, so I hope everybody will go and visit the Stock Explorer. They're a dear friend. You know, they're a moderator here and on Tuber Chat, but they're an incredibly supportive channel. And I'd love for everybody to have them in their family. So thanks, everyone. And you'll see the beautiful table at some point in the next couple weeks when you get a video happening, and you'll see what on earth I was talking about, what was so urgent, and hopefully you'll agree. Again, I can't end the stream like every other day. Oh, come on now. Part of my frustration. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.